Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newest version earlier, then you can go to Patreon. It's $3 a month for this and other games. So, on the last Let's Play, we had our lunch. Went to work with these guys to lay some track, and then went with Bennett to learn a bit about mining, which consists of us hitting one of those spikes with a big hammer, which went well, but then we were told to hold the spike, and Ben was like, ooh, I want to do it. And when he grabbed it, we were a bit worried, and we ducked out of the way because he almost hit us, and he's acting weird. Ben being the golden retriever and Bennett being Flynn's great-great-grandfather, supposedly. They look pretty much the same. So, now we're back here. Gonna reset our face. And continue. My heart is racing when I get back to Dimitri, Philip, and Paul. Dimitri seems to notice that something is wrong, and asks. But I don't address it, knowing that Ben is probably in earshot. I just want to be done with this day's work. And work as quickly and quietly as I can, or get through with this day. I don't have much energy or focus left by the time the last work whistle blows. I remember that Nick and Yao don't want us to be seen together when we're coming from or leaving work, so I don't bother waiting by the lockers and take my lift with Dimitri. He tells me I should grab a drink at the Stag with the rest of the men, but I turn it down. It feels good to be welcomed. But it doesn't feel good to turn those people away when you have prior obligations. All of a sudden my throat's like, hey, do you want to talk? No. Ew. Public showers. Ooh. He introduces me to the washing stations, which is more or less one massive room with a shower. It's filthy and packed, full of naked bodies washing the soot, and coal, and grime out of their foy. The water is cold, and the soap is scentless. My nose wrinkles when my fur turns color from gray to white. It still feels good to be clean again, but it still feels good. But when I leave the mines, I find joy in the fact that I can find Nick and Yao on the road, walking slowly and discreetly. Congratulations on finishing your first day, Sam. And all that instant, too. I grab both their sleeves and shake my head. No, that wasn't true. I fill them in on everything. James's gift, Dimitri and Beckett taking a shine to me, Ben's reaction, Beckett's appreciation strained? Ben's reaction. Oh, right. Ben is that one guy, but Bennett's appreciation strained? I don't know what that means. Okay. The chain of events concerns me. It's hard to believe that Ben's ambition would push him to try something like that. But he still has not been promoted. Perhaps it was a long time coming. It was a mistake to let him part with us at lunch in the first place. It would have been a bigger mistake to ignore Beckett's instructions for where we're supposed to be. If he is already suspicious of Sam's presence due to James's gift, we would not want to implicate ourselves in that. Oh yeah, and in the last episode, we did receive the gift from, equipment from the Ram guy. And yeah, Mr. Beckett, sorry, it's a lot of names. Flynn, great-great-grandfather, was like, hey, just keep that on the down low, because that might make people jealous and stuff, and not nice. Breaking protocol would make Bennett talk to James, and that is the last thing we want. Fuck protocol. I want to protect my friend. We are not doing a good job. I like you too much to be comfortable with you yelling at me like that, Nick. Nick, it's fine. I handled it myself, okay? No, it's not okay, Sam. You should have stayed at the bunks during the day while Yao and I work. You're dirty, you're uncomfortable, you barely escaped an injury, and people want to harm you now. Or now? Only one person does, I think. Maybe Ben is just having a terrible day and let his emotions get the better of him. Or maybe he just generally is an idiot and didn't mean any harm at all. I know that I'm crazy. I know that I want to see and feel what isn't really reliable, even if it feels real in the moment. I feel like I'm reading okay, but my understanding of the words is like, what? Whatever, just read the words. I thought Nick was gonna hurt me too, but I can't tell him that. Honestly, I don't entirely know what Hendrix wants, but that's something I do not want to think about right now. One thing at a time. One person trying to hurt you is one person too many. It's too late for me to suddenly quit. And besides, I still want to be down there. I made the choice myself. But there's no reason for you to be down there. He lowered his voice, especially now that you know how to distract Orr. There is a reason. I want to look out for you. Both of you. Yao knows. The badger turns his head to the tiger. Does he know? Yao knows what precisely. The tiger inhales, then exhales. There's some sort of aberration in the minds. Oh, that. Nick looked to his friend, then to me in confusion. Then his eyelids narrowed. An aberration. He says the words extra slow and lets it hang in the air. We both heard it. I certainly heard something, though I cannot confirm what it was. Like I told your friend, it could be an animal, or it could be vapors affecting our judgment. I do not deny a possibility that it could be something else entirely. But I have to put forward what I believe to be the most likely truths. I am confident that I can protect myself and Samuel from any natural or an unnatural element in that mine. But I'm not confident I can protect him from evil people. So this remains my concern. Is there any way I can address that without quitting? Only if there's a way for us to stay together. I want to be able to see you throughout the whole day. We would need to constantly be on the same team color when Bennett splits us up. Could we just ask him? No. Out of the question. Moore takes his job very seriously and considers knowing his men key to managing their positions. That is a word. Never mind. I'm certain he will investigate tonight why James sent you creative new tools. And I wish he'd tell me when he finds out. I don't trust Beckett, but I do not think he means us harm. However, if he manages to connect that the three of us are associated, a lot of powerful men will also find out. Our grouping needs to be both assured and look coincidental. So, how do we do that without breaking protocol or being discovered? There is no way. Actually, there is. What? How? Cheng. Oh. That's Sable from the tent, who has dirt on me because I caught him smoking. I don't think he'll help me. I think he will. There is something that he wants. Listen. Let's return to the cabin. And prepare a letter for you. If you give it to him and have him read it, I will know he will cooperate. And I'll prepare dinner for all of us. I'll prefer dinner for all of us. I would also prefer dinner, even though for some reason I've been eating a lot lately. Maybe I'm pregnant. There will not be voluntary starvation in my midst. While Nick prepares a dinner of canned beans and cured meat, I see Yao carefully hiding something on a piece of paper with an ink brush, letting it hang to dry. We can't talk much about anything as the cabin is noisy and crowded at this time of day. Workers constantly walk in and out of the door for supplies or daily hygiene. Others go to fish for their dinner or hover around the stove, chatting and eating while cooking their meals. Nick is muttering quietly about find me a lunch pail when Yao finally folds his letter and places it in an unsealed envelope. Should I hide this while I'm traveling? Yao shrugs. Most of the town would not be able to read it, but hiding it would not hurt. I take the note out of the envelope. Oh. They're all Huaxian symbols. Oh, I kind of wonder if I could just put this into Google Translate. Does it have a translating picture thingy? That would be kind of neat. Right? Let's try that. Sorry that I'm like, I see what looks like to be, Morse code. Let us do that in Morse code. Okay, can we just paste it? Oh, come on. Actually, have to save it somewhere? Okay, let's just try that. Boop. And save it on my desktop. Untitled. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like passwords. Okay, Google, you have to fucking drag and drop it somewhere. Sorry. Okay. Fuck. Translating. And what? If you still want to sleep with me, do my friend a favor. This is your only chance to get back at them. I mean, everybody in Echo's gay. It's your only chance to get back at them. Would it be back at me or back at someone else? Oops, sorry. I mean, yeah, it's kind of spoilery, but it's also like, I learned something. And it makes me able to read things emotionally that I wouldn't be able to figure out otherwise. Yeah, I can't read this letter, but I can. I put the letter back in the envelope, pocket it, and make my way back into town. The tents that Chang lives in are a little too close to the hip and William's office for comfort. So I take the longer path to get to the back of the area. Sometimes I think I see a patch of tawny fur or gold eyes, but it always turns out to be something else. When I get to the tent, I take a deep breath and wander inside. The rabbit who yelled at me first time isn't here, but the man I'm looking for is. A stack of papers are scattered on a coffee table in front of the sofa he sits on, and he notices me immediately. So, it's you again. I wasn't expecting anybody tonight. Well, I wasn't planning to be here myself until last minute. Is that so? Did you change your mind about something? I'm not here to buy anything. Pity. Looks down and stacks some of the papers he's holding. There's work for me to do. I'm here because I need some help. I don't deal out favors for free. Yao sent me. Of course he sent you. There's no other reason you would be here if you weren't interested in buying. Unless you're looking to buy something else entirely. Here. I take a letter out of my pocket and shove it into his paw. He gives me a look, plucks it from me, then opens the envelope and unfolds the paper. As his eyes list across the symbols, his expression moves from perplexed to angry, then to thoughtful. Then he stares at me intensely. So, they put you there. On the 3rd floor? Under Moreau. I don't think I've met Moreau. He said the name like it was dripping with poison. Then he folds his good paw over the damaged one. I think we can help one another after all. But I'll ask you a favor before I do. He looked to his left, then to his right. It's the paranoid sort of look I've seen from plenty of my clients before who knows what they want, but do not know how to ask it. Is he getting what I think he's getting at? This is a shared space, so it's not ideal for sharing secrets. You might be surprised by how quickly you can leak one anywhere. When the mood's right. My mouth curls into a grin. He has a very serious face, but I can't deny it is handsome. And his fur looks very soft. What? Well, you mentioned one in a favor. He digs one of his digits into his forehead and sighs. I am not asking for your body. Oh. Damn. But I want to play with the twink. Chang leans in close to me and lowers his voice. I want you to relay a message instead. The public library next to City Hall closes every night at 5 p.m. But it does not close. Not really. There's a man who buys and sells information there to anybody who can find him, and anybody he considers worth his time. He takes a long drag on his pipe, and I turn my head the other way, try not to inhale the smoke like last time. You'll tell him this to make yourself worth his time. Say, your brother can never admit that he was wrong, but he still misses and cares about you. And that'll get him to help me? It's something he wanted to hear for a long time, and you are a stranger. But he may ask for money as well. I hope not. Between shirking my hip appointments and just starting at the mines for a pittance, I'm pretty broke. But if this means we get that gold, well, maybe it's worth spending what I have, if I have to. So, if that's a phrase that'll help me out, what's a phrase that will help you? That's the beauty of it. They're one and the same. Language can be efficient, can't it, Mr. Ayers? Sometimes, something about the way he phrases that unnerves me a bit. I suppose. Cheng breathes in his pipe again and looks away. I wonder if this outcome will satisfy me. Satisfy you how? It's like I've told you before. It's just to make some of the pain go away. I ain't so sure pain can go away. At least, not all of it. His eyelids narrow when he looks at me. You can accept that for yourself if you like. He looks away again. But please tell Yao I got the message. Okay, I will. You take the hint that it's time for me to go. Outside, I mull over what the sable told me, trying to decide if I should go to the library or if I should just go back to the bunks and call this a wash. On the one hand, there's probably a lot of useful things I could learn from this fellow. On the other hand, Cheng seems like he's planning something. And I can't for the life of me figure out what it is. I know that Yao trusts Cheng to get results, but do I even trust Yao? Really? Each new link in this chain of interactions seems more and more dubious. But using Cheng's phrase might be the only option I have to keep walking this path. I walk this lonely road. So, it's decided then. I'm going to the library. Town Hall at night looks a lot less welcoming. The apple tree, which is the only thing that with leaves in this great many places. Many paces? Rattles them when the wind blows through it. I like tree leaves. The front of the library certainly looks like it's closed. But then again, so does the back. I try to open the front door too, and it's locked. But when I look again at the back door, I can see a little candle lit on a plate. When I go towards it, I turn a corner and see a door that looks like it's locked very tight with a padlock. But when I tug on it, it opens without any trouble at all. I never been in the town library before. And they have those books with the chains on them. Like, I remember seeing something like that in Game of Thrones. Did they do that in the West too? Mostly because I heard it was full of a lot of reference materials that ain't much relevant to me. Also because I don't have a lot of time to dedicate to reading thick books full of words. I'd have to constantly keep looking up. I moved past the entire section of growing summer crops to another on whatever optometry is. Optometry? Me with my trying to read things. And then I see a man sitting by a stack of newspapers who stands up when he sees me. I'm loath to turn anybody away for their interest in reading, but I'm afraid the library is closed. Oh. It's also, who is he? Flint's great-great-grandfather? I think there was like a picture, an introductory picture with him and the other one. The man is a reedy sing-song voice, has a reedy sing-song voice, and a very expressive smile. But if I had a slightly different tone of voice, he'd sound just like if he had. Beckett? Porter, actually. He said that somewhat stiffly. Now, I know Echo is not exactly the size of the Windy City yet, but I find it very queer indeed that someone would know my brother's name and invoke it in my presence. Sorry? I guess it's just that you look the same and sort of sound the same. And we haven't been on friendly terms in over 5 years. It would be in your best interest to speak quickly and cleverly, or I'll be forced to turn you out and summon the sheriff. That gets my heart pumping. I better think of something quick. Your brother? I need some information. Oh yeah, I guess you'd want to ask information before giving it the information. He puts on a sing-song tone. There's certainly why people come to the library. Is this really the right guy? I'm walking towards the phone. Wait. He picks up the phone off the receiver and gives me a look. I didn't know the sheriff's office had a phone. If he really wanted me gone, it's not likely he would have paused. It was like he was giving me one last chance. Your brother Beck is sorry. He misses you, and he knows that he can never apologize. Those words just spilled messily out of my mouth. I don't know if I got them all right, or said them the way Chang wanted me to, but I'm desperate at this point. I don't think he said the misses you part. Oh, let's just do a safety save and then roll back a bit. I'm just curious. Yeah, your brother can never admit that it's wrong, but he still misses and cares about you. Okay, misses and cares about is pretty much it. Yeah. The lizard adjusts his jaw, stops mouthing with a jolt, and then gives me a curious look before hanging up the phone and stalking back to his table. Well, that's certainly one hell of an introduction. Very well, let's do business then, Mr. Ayers. You know my name? There's only one albino cougar in this town. Yes, I know your name. If that surprised you, then you probably shouldn't be here in the first place. I didn't mean any offense. I've been patient with you, Mr. Ayers, because you came here bearing a gift to me, and whether you arrived through your own connections or guile, I do not know. But I do bet I could take a stab in the dark. But also, because you've told me something for free, that means it's no longer your chip with which to barter. So whatever you ask for, it will be paid with cash or information. Let's just start with how much you got. 40 cents. I have little interest in change, Mr. Ayers. Don't talk that way about my grocery money. You're gonna have to pay me with what you know. I can tell you about myself. You're a prostitute. You serve men. You work at Seguera's hip. Wow. The Gila fakes yawns. If you're selling something about yourself, then it needs to be much better than that. How do you even know that? The same way I know most things of the things I know. Trades. It's certainly not because of my diploma. He flicks his tongue in the way that reptiles often do when they think they've told a good joke. Plenty of people have talked about their time with you, but I doubt you could afford to know them all. But there's been a whole lot of interest in you as of late. And what exactly are you saying? Is that an answer you'd like to buy? I'm curious now, in an uneasy way. And that's not what I came here to ask. What did I come here to ask anyways? Can I ask you my question first, and you can tell me how much it costs? Absolutely. He leans closer to me and takes out a pencil and a notepad from his pocket. Well, I need to be careful about what I say right now. A couple of friends. A couple is two, yes? Fuck. I sometimes use it to mean more than two. You sound uncertain about that. He smiles brightly at me. So, my friends and I are trying to work together at all times when we're working under Mr. Beckett Monroe. Oh, Beckett Moore, not Monroe, Moore. We don't want to be separated, but we don't want Beckett to know that we're all associated. How can I pull that off? Portal lets out a peal of laughter. What is a peal of laughter? Oh, really? Is that all? Yeah, it's important. That's so simple, it seems almost mean to charge. Then don't? Oh, but I must. I'll tell you something that you, rather, already ought to know. And I'll tell you a clean solution that can be what I'm really charging for. I'll tell you clean. That can't. So, if you want your answers, tell me. Give me the name of one of your companions. So Nick being Nick, Yao being Yao, these are my two companions. Ben being the bad guy. Felipe. Oh. I think these are the nice guys. I'm both being like, oh, this feels like it could be a big bad thing, or it could be nothing. Though, so we are at time as well. Oh, buddy. I just want to do one haunt thing right here. Do boop. Because he usually asks me stuff. Helpful. I'll just close my eyes and pick. Nope, didn't pick. His locker combination. What's the locker combination? Fuck. I should have looked at. That's why I should have put on there. Well, that does answer a question. What is my locker number? Which is... I didn't write it down. Well, we will probably need to go back and look for it. Was it here? No, here. Skip ahead just a wee bit so I can write it down. Oh, that's what it meant. I was like, what is this AL 16 right? R and then 3L. It's 8 left, 16 rights. That left. So I was supposed to remember it. Hyena. And then again, who should we say that we do? I guess this will be something for another time. So, please comment, guys, like top. Comments, damage you like, dislike, tips as always. If you like my YouTube and like Secret, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos that have grown. Please remember to new your animals to help control the pet population. I wonder if this is the thing where I can be like, this guy, and he'll be like, nope. He's someone to keep close, isn't he? Really? I wonder if charm for sure, that'd be sufficient. Bizarre choice, sufficient. Now there's a golden nugget of information. That'll be sufficient. Curious, I'm not familiar with that name. That'll be sufficient. Ah, the quiet one. That'll be sufficient. Okay. It might mean nothing, or it might mean something. I don't know. I'm gonna want to think about this as I go to sleep. Cause I'm tired, it's 10:37. So, comment, guys, like them comments, something you like, dislike, tips as always. If you like my YouTube and like Say Grow, then please like, subscribe, and share the videos that grow. Most have control the pet population. And if you want to play this game, it's available for free on Itch. I hope, but if you want to support people make this game and or get the news version earlier, then you can go to Patreon, where it's $3 a month for this and other games. And until next time, I'll say, me, GamerWolfSix, the smoke room. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't be able to be like, I'm gonna go to bed and then come back and tell you about this, you know? Anyways, thanks and see ya.